What up, real world? It's your boy Dre. 22 years old, born and raised in San Francisco, California. But right now, I reside in Oakland, California. I grew up in the Bay Area my entire life. I lived in other places like Seattle. I lived in Yosemite for a bit, um, but mainly the Bay Area. Hobbies of mine. If I'm not working, I'm playing basketball. Always playing basketball, always in the gym. Ball is life. Although I hate that saying, ball is life. Um, Another thing about me, I write poetry. I've been writing poems since I was about, I want to say, 8 or 9. I didn't really start taking it serious until I turned about 14, 15. Right when I was in high school, that's when I noticed I was pretty good at it. I was like, okay, I should stick with it.
You should have looked at him in his face.
Bitch ass.
I was about to hang.
Horrible pass. Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, what y'all just saw was your boy hooping, little clips and stuff. Me being in the gym. I know y'all like that last shot. Besides basketball and poetry, I'm really adventurous. Starting when I was 20 years old, so 2 years ago, I was living in Yosemite. I stumbled upon a job in Yosemite National Park. Didn't think I would get it. I applied just for the kicks of it. And sure enough, they called me back and they wanted me to go out there for an internship. I went out there for an internship and I was only supposed to be there for 3 months. Once the 3 months was approaching, they asked me if I wanted to stay there full time. That's a big deal. I mean, 20, I was living with my mom, who now lives in Texas. I was staying with my mom and I wasn't sure if I always knew I was ready to get out on my own, but I wasn't sure if I was ready to leave the city. All right, guys, forgive me. I had to rearrange some stuff, had to move the laptop, stuff like that. The lighting, I'm on my balcony porch right now. The lighting was getting in the way of the camera. Didn't look too good, so I had to rearrange some stuff. Back to the story. So I wasn't 100% sure about going to Yosemite. I grew up in the Bay Area. I was in San Francisco, like one of the best cities in the world. I wasn't sure if I was ready to give that up. 20 years old, that was when I was getting ready for the club scene. I wasn't trying to go out into the wilderness. But ultimately, I decided to go to Yosemite. And I loved it. I was hesitant at first, but I loved it, man. I stayed there for about a year. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. While I was out there, I was hiking all over the park. I met some great people from all over the country. Camping, real life camping. I've never seen so many stars in my life. Came into contact with a bunch of brown bears. And also while I was out there, I got to kick a few things off my bucket list. One of them were skydiving. I actually went skydiving twice. I'll actually show you guys a clip of that later. I went skydiving twice, and I'm addicted to it now, man. I am an adrenaline junkie. Now, next on my list is to go base jumping. I have no idea why I want to go base jumping, but every time I see a video of someone base jumping, I get a rush and I have to do it. And that's how I felt with skydiving, and now I have to do it for base jumping. One thing I would never do, though, never, ever, ever do, is bungee jump. A lot of people look at me crazy when I say that because I mentioned that I've been skydiving and I want to go base jumping, but bungee jumping, I don't know. Like I have a fear that the rope won't be able to contain me. Although I'm a skinny guy, for some reason I think the rope won't be able to hold me. Also, they could misestimate the length of the rope and right on the ground. I don't want that to happen. I'd rather trust a parachute and a backup parachute. And then if I base jump and it just so happens that it's my time, then it's my time. But bungee jumping, you will never ever see me do that.
Yeah, they say I'm the down south Nas, the East Coast pop, the Carolina Andre, the Vietnam Kanye. So join it, can't beat it. To all the non-believers, if you missed it, I'll repeat it. I'm the light-skinned Jesus, here's my thesis for them niggas.
Alright, so I mean, judging from the video, obviously, you can tell that I am extremely adventurous. Always looking for something to give me a new rush. And hopefully I can experience that while being on the real world. Alright, so you know about my adventure side, you know about what I like to do on my free time. But let's talk about how I am with my family. I am extremely close to my family. I am a family-oriented guy. I grew up with a single mom. My father split. My mom had me when she was 17 years old. I didn't meet my father until I was about 12 or 13 years old. Our relationship, where it stands today, is okay. I see him more as a friend than a father figure. I mean, my mom always said, my dad is one of the nicest guys you'll meet, one of the coolest guys you'll meet, but he's a horrible father. I definitely see a lot of myself in him, and as a kid, I used to hate that. I used to hate when someone said, I walk like him, or I talk like him, or I act like him, I look like him when I do this. Now I'm a little more accepting to it. I mean, I did come from him. We are of the same cloth, but I do feel like I handle my responsibilities as a man a little different than he does. But like I said, our relationship today, we're okay. We're in a good place. As far as my mom, absolutely love that woman. She has done every single thing for me. I mean, to raise a kid, a boy, yet alone, like as a 17-year-old girl, you're not even a woman yet, a 17-year-old girl, you're raising a kid, and you have to raise this little boy into a man. I can never thank her enough for that. Along with me, she had two other girls. My middle sister, Renisha Raven, who is 19. She passed. This is actually my sister here that I'm wearing her right now. She passed August 2nd, 2015. She was killed during a drive-by. She just so happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Still kind of fresh in my heart and in my mind. Really, really tough situation. The toughest situation I ever been in my life. What I'm gonna do now is cut to a clip of where I was lost in my thoughts about the situation with my sister. I believe it was the day after the funeral. Check it out. Alright, so it's your boy Dre once again. Yesterday was my sister's funeral. She was 19 years old. She was shot. Wrong place, wrong time. The funeral, I had so many emotions, man. I was angry. I was sad. I was lost most of the time. It was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony, but I was completely lost. Now I have the challenge of trying to, how do I live on? Like, what happens now? Like, this is someone that I saw every day, and if I didn't see her every day, I heard about her every day. Someone had a new story about what she was doing or what happened involving her, or she would call me, text me, anything. This is someone that's been around my entire life, and now she's just gone. So, I mean, what do I do from now? Like, what happens next? I know eventually I'll come to grips with it and it will be easier to bear. Right now it seems impossible. I do have another sister I have to live for. I got a mom that I gotta take care of, be here for support. Younger cousins. But this is gonna be a tough challenge. It's gonna be tough. Alright, that was a pretty somber moment. Like I said, that was literally the day after her funeral. I just had some things on my chest that I had to get out. And I tend to, I either write what I'm feeling or I record what I'm feeling. And at that moment, I decided to record it just so I could never forget that emotion that I was feeling at the time. But like I said, on my mom's side, I have another younger sister. Her name is Jaciana. She's 14 years old. She currently lives in Texas with my mom. My mom moved out to Texas 2 years ago. I am very, very close with my younger sister. She reminds me of me. We're both extremely goofy. She's very, very outgoing. She will literally befriend anyone. And I absolutely love that little girl. I have this ongoing joke where I call her a Mexican just because she's a little lighter than the rest of us in the family. And she hates me for it, but I'm gonna keep that going as long as I can. On my dad's side, which I rarely tell people just because it's a long story. On my dad's side, I have a younger brother and a younger sister. Don't really know too much about them. I met them literally once in my life. And I want to say I was about 14 or 15 when I met them. Just recently, after my sister Renisha passed, my younger sister on my dad's side contacted me on Facebook, and she is trying to get back in contact with me. So hopefully we can stay in touch. We exchange information, but I still don't know anything about my younger brother, and he is my only brother, but I don't know him at all. All right, so right now I'm gonna cut to a bunch of little videos, little clips to show you how I am outside of the crib, whether I'm at the gym or I'm with some family or I'm with friends, goofing around, stuff like that, just to give you a little snippet of my personality. So yeah, check it out right now. Ugly sister in here, record videos.
Your mom's ugly.
Can't y'all tell her she ugly? This girl is ugly.
I'm not.
Somebody tell her she ugly.
Oh, watch me, watch.
Hair all messed up. My sister came out here from Texas, still looking like a Mexican. Real immigrant type.
What's up, girl? Can I get your number though? Get your number though, girl. Can I get that bitch number though? Can I get that bitch number though? For real though? Let me get that.
That's the bubble salsa.
Hit him in the coffin.
Put him in the coffin.
Put him in the coffin.
Squad. Squad.
Listen
Okay. This nigga just busted his first nut in life. He can't walk. He just busted his first nut in life. He took a random nut in Panda Express. On the way to the Kevin Hart show with the fam. Fam, you know. About to get the funnies real quick.